Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Fresh coming to you to talk about the playoffs round 2. We got 4 teams left, and those 2 of those 4 teams is 400 and Safari. Looking at the first matchup, man, we got We're Gone Mad versus Lucas. That's going to be interesting, man. I'm excited to see that one for sure, man, because when you think about We're Gone Mad, you know he's going to come with some different stuff that you're just not expecting. He likes to change it up. He likes to be unexpected, unpredictable. Come with some swag when this game. He's got some swagger there. Lucas, he's straight to the point, man. Doesn't really talk, doesn't really bullshit around. You know he's going to come with that Chaos Turbo. He's going to come with a strong build. I think he's going to come with a build that's prepped for chaos control for sure. And not to mention, man, Lucas has been dominating, man, this whole War League season. I mean, he's the MVP for a reason. Even in some of the major events, he plays in the Patreons, he plays in the major events. He plays at the GGPs, and he does very well in all of these, in all facets. This guy's just a beast. So looking at it like that, man, if I got to choose between the two, I'm going to go with Lucas, man, strictly because I feel like he's been dominating. He's been the most consistent. He's prepped for CC. I think We're Gone Mad's prepped for Chaos Turbo, but just based off the consistency of who's been dominating more, who's clicking, and who I feel like, I think We're Gone Mad's very skillful, but I think most people would say Lucas is just a bit better as far as on the skill level. But yeah, so, I got Lucas winning. Looking at Zoidberg and AJT, man, that's that's probably going to be the highlight of these two teams, man. These two players, we know what AJT, we know what he's about. We know Zoidberg has been just so clutch in the season 2. Pretty much just been like, they would say that he's carried the team through the regular season. I don't think nobody in 400 would disagree with that. AJT, he's been he hasn't been as consistent in the regular season, but let's be fair though, he wasn't doing that consistent in the first season either. He had a bit of a week going in the regular season, but he turned it up, caught fire in the playoffs. And as we look at it right now, man, he's 1-0 as we speak now. So I got to be real, man. If I'm looking at these two, I think you could go either way. I think most people would say that Zoidberg is probably going to probably win it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Zoidberg is better than AJT. Let's be real. But he's been more consistent. But let's be real, though. For me, I'm going to say AGT only because if we're looking at somebody who's ready for the moment, who's been called upon to produce wins after win after win, looking back at season 1, looking at what he's been doing in the FLCs, looking at what he's doing in the GGPs, you guys, undeniable. Scrap what happened in regular season. We in the playoffs, right? let's think about it like that, man. And with that being said, I'm gonna give it to AJT, man. But that's just me. Looking at Lucas G and Marcus, starting off with Marcus, man, he got benched early in the season. He wasn't performing that well as he would want to perform. I mean, I think he would agree with that. But we know when it comes to his skill and understanding the game, this guy is one of the best. He can sniff out exactly what's being. Oh man, I think he's got set solid because the way he played this and the way he went about this. We've heard him in the chat room. Guy's pretty precise when it comes to this stuff. Let's be real. But when it comes to Marcus, man, this guy's been dominating on and off the court at the GGPs in the regular season. We know if you haven't heard, he's done really well in the current Yu-Gi-Oh as well, getting like he made like top 3 in the current, and he don't even really play it like that. I mean, he played, but not like that. So, and I think he's won a YCS. I mean, this guy is strong, very strong. He's a major bomb. That was a crazy pickup for them to have AGT, Marcus, and Lucas, man. I mean, these guys are just, man. I mean, if you love Yu-Gi-Oh, man, then you got to love these guys, man. These guys are really strong, man. But looking at Marcus, I think that he's going to, again, be prepared for Chaos Turbo. I think he's a stronger player when it comes to Chaos Turbo. I don't think too many people are going to disagree with me on that. But I know that Lucas is strong too. But looking at it like that, man, I'm gonna give it to Marcus, man. And right now that's a 3-0. But I think that we got some other matchups that's gonna change, make it a little bit more even. So looking at Cursed and looking at Mercenary, I mean, when we think about Cursed, I don't know much about the guy. I know he's a diehard 400 or LGR. I'm not sure what their team is called, but let's just say 400 for right now. So I know that he's been with them. He's went 5-2 in the regular season, which is pretty good, man. And he's been on Warriors, and I would say to be a Warrior player in the War League and to go 5-2 is pretty good, man. I don't think anybody can deny that, because if you look at the statistics, that deck has been getting completely dominated. It's been getting washed by all the Turbo players. I mean, it's not even remotely close statistically. But when you look at Merce, man, he's really strong. I know he's got a Patreon win. He's been pretty good at the GGPs. He's everywhere. He's playing in everything he can. So we know he's bringing. He's like, I would say he's what's the word? He's seasoned. He's done really well in the regular season. He went 7-4. He came out really strong, kind of tailed off a little bit towards the end. But all in all, I mean, he's had a really good regular season. He was considered to be one of the MVPs until later in the season. I think I'm going to say this. When it comes to Curse, I think he's more prepared for Turbo than Merce is prepared for Warriors. I'm pretty sure, obviously, he's got Warrior stuff in there like everybody else. But I think Curse is going to have a little bit of extra spice as far as like unpredictability. He might got Magician of Fates. He might got Zing. There's just so many ways you can go about with the toolbox of Warriors and switching it up. I'm going to say that Merce probably is going to be tough for him to kind of know what Curse is going to do if you think about it. I mean, I'm kind of stuttering a little bit because I'm trying to find the words to kind of say what Merce is going to be thinking about when he's going to be playing against a Warrior matchup, because he's not really expecting Warriors. He's expecting either CC or Turbo. I don't think they was really game planning for Curse that much. But Curse, man, like I said, especially with LeBounty winning and everybody putting in Magician of Fates and Warriors, do you now, for the Turbo players, like, do you take out the knock? Do you not? Do you? You know what I mean? It's really tough, So I'm going to give it to Curse, man, strictly on the fact that he's going to be a little bit more prepped, and Merce is going to have trouble deciding what to keep in, what not. Just the unpredictability about what the Warrior guy is going to have in his side deck. He's been, like I said, he's been 5-2, so they're both really strong. Could go either way, but I'm going to go with Curse strictly on the fact that he's going to have some unpredictability that's going to give Merce some trouble. Now, looking at Gangsta Bro and versus Soul Master, looking at both these players, man, I think they both had a very underwhelming season. We know Gangsta Bro probably was expecting to do better than 4-3, and we know Soul Master for sure was expecting to do better than 4-6. But looking at Gangsta Bro, we know he's strictly Turbo, and we know Soul Master strictly Warrior. So we got the clash of this is the rivalry that everybody always talks about, Warriors and Turbo, which deck is better. Statistically, Warriors gets dominated, but when you're playing against some of the better Warrior players, that number is not as skewed as you would think it is. But at the same time, as Soul has been having some trouble in the regular season, I still think he's really strong. I think he's going to give Gangsta Bro a tough matchup, but I think that Gangsta Bro is going to be a little bit more prepared for Warriors than Merce is prepared for Warriors, right? Because we know that Safari does have a tendency to have Warriors in their matchups. They got for sure 2 Warrior players, Radit and Soul Master. So looking at it like that, I'm going to give it to Gangsta Bro. I think he's going to edge it out. I think he's been a little bit more consistent than Soul Master this season. So yeah, now looking at FDS, I'm sorry, FDS and Rabbit. Rabbit, it's kind of funny just thinking about the 8 Mile. But looking at FDS, I think FDS has been the second best player on 400. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. He's been really strong. He's considered one of the best players in the War League, and he's for sure shown that playing strictly CC. And looking at Rabbit, I don't think he's had that great of a season. I mean, he's been 1-4 with Warriors. That's not good. That's atrocious. But he did pretty well in a 3v3 and maybe something else. I'm not sure, but a lot of people are like man, Rabbit. Rabbit. I don't even know how to say your name, bro. A lot of people kind of like, man, this dude is really coming in late. He kind of caught fire. But I'm not really buying into that, man. I think I got FDS winning this pretty cleanly, man. I'm going with 2-0. You got CC versus Warriors. I mean, let's be real. Chaos Control dominates Warriors. It's not even fair. I do expect Reddit to have a strong side deck against CC. But even with that being said, I still think that it's an uphill battle for Warriors to beat Chaos Control, and he's playing against one of the best control players. So that's even harder, and he's been more consistent than Raditz. So I think most people are going to say that FDS has the edge, a big edge in this matchup. So I'm going to go with FDS in this, man. Closing it out, three people on the 400 winning, and the 3 players on the Safari winning. So we'll see who's gonna we'll see what it looks like as they play. I'm excited to see, man. But those are my predictions. Tell me what you think. Holla at your boy.